Welcome to Monkey and Frank. My name is Do and my body is Dom. And today I want to talk to you about honor. I had this beautiful podcast yesterday with Rahat. And before the podcast, I was in a state of self-pity. I was in a state of getting attached to what my ego was showing me, or was, yeah. So when my ego shows me something, and when I get attached to my ego, it makes me explode, meaning behave in a way that is not honorable, behave in a way that makes it so that I'm going to turn and be ashamed of my behavior. Because with this spirituality, with this knowledge, with this wisdom, with silent mind, I'm expecting of me to do better, to just not explode, to not be disrespectful to the people that I love, to not, like all of these things, to be patient with my children, to understand that when my son is crying, that he's sad, not that he's trying to piss me off for not wanting to come outside, to come inside, and like he's pissed off. He wants to enjoy life to the fullest, and the idea of coming inside just to eat some food that maybe he's not even hungry, or to come inside so that he can go to bed, makes no sense to him. He does not, I understand if I'd be in his shoes, but yet when he does cry and I hear that piercing sound, I get attached to my ego, which is saying, stop it. We have things to do. Be logical, grow up, and come to bed. That makes no sense. And then when I get attached to my ego, and the biggest thing is, like, I notice in myself is I get attached to my ego when I'm busy doing something, meaning when I'm attached to this life. So I'm already in this life, right? And tonight was building a barbecue, to cleaning up, to understanding that I need to go to work and cleaning up the kitchen, or I need to prepare dinner, all sorts of human experience thing. So that's one thing, though, Dom, I see you. When you are busy doing human stuff, that's when you tend to get attached to your ego and explode, and then right away you get ashamed of your behavior, and you don't forgive yourself, you don't love yourself in that state, and you actually reject that state, and you don't get the healing that you deserve, that you could get if you would just surrender to your I guess it's a forgiveness thing. If you could just forgive what you are feeling in that moment. But it's more than that. Rahat really showed me that if you honor that ego, like he's pissed. He doesn't want to deal with the child right now. He has better things to do because he is going to die. And he has no time for this, right? No time. And to me, it's the knowledge, like Do is like, yo, dude, it's just an illusion, right? Don't worry about it. My awareness will continue. And then the ego, Dom, is like, yeah, but I'll die. Like, I'm going to die, and I don't have the patience. Like, I'm going to make you feel like your head is on fire, like you have anxiety and butterflies in your stomach, as if I'm going to tense your muscles, your neck muscles. I'm going to tense your face. I'm going to make you scowl. I'm going to, all of those physical symptoms that comes with an adrenaline dump, I guess. I'm not too sure what physically is happening, but, scientists could tell you. But that, right? So honoring that ego is something difficult. I was talking to a friend tonight about exactly that, on how the practice that I used to do back in the day of thinking about my past and going to hug that past version of myself, especially the younger version. I feel like when I think of myself as a baby, I remember thinking, like when I was 4 or 5 and looking at baby pictures, how ugly I was. And that little boy that thought that he was ugly as a baby, he deserves a hug. Like, he was sad, he was upset that society had set standards on what a beautiful baby is. And it's not his fault that he was feeling this way. It's not his fault that he was programmed with that code inside of his brain. You know, so going back and hugging him and really going back into all of my memories and hugging them gave me the experience one day that I was on cannabis and I was doing cannabis ceremony, and I had been like maybe an hour into that practice, and then all of a sudden all of the little people that I had hugged in the past just turned around and put their hands on my shoulder as one beautiful soul, like my pure, honorable, like my pure self, the person that I know I'm never going to be able to achieve, but I look up to him because I want to be that man. I want to be the soul dope. Just, you are in this experience right now, so you'll never be that person until you die. So for now, use that person, use that creativity of, well, that knowledge of who you are, and be there for your ego, right? Give it a hug so that it can hug you back and propel you forward. Well, when you're dealing with a behavior that you just did, like not even 2 minutes ago, doing that practice is so difficult. You know, it's so difficult. I just did that behavior. The shame is here. I'm feeling hot in the face. I'm an asshole. Like, fuck, why did I just do that? Why did I just explode? It was so fast. Like, something happened and boom, I exploded. Like, my wife asked me a question, I turn around and blah, oh shit. Like, too late. You just did that, you know. And yes, you were busy with other thing, and yes, you didn't have a time or the moment to reflect on what you should do, because that's not your programming yet. Side note, you should do a practice on patience. I'm not too sure how I could do that, but I want to. So Mother, God, if you got a chance, please show me a practice where I'm going to be able to implement and program my ego into taking space, time before speaking, to not be so impulsive. Anyways, as I was talking to my friend, I realized that honor is, I think, one of the solution, one of the practice that I should do to honor my ego, to honor my body for freaking what it is. And to know that, yes, you are working on it, and yes, you are failing sometimes to work on it. And that's okay. If you honor the sensations of your body, if you honor the heat in your head to the anxiety in your stomach to the whatever feeling shows up, I think it would help tremendously. The other thing too that has been on my mind is microdosing. I've never done microdosing, and I keep hearing it all over my awareness, from friends to videos on YouTube to whatever, and I'm not too sure why I'm not doing it, or why I didn't go in yet into doing that for myself. But the world, life is pointing to that, and just letting it out on this podcast will maybe propel me forward to start doing that, and to take life, anyways, to take that action. Yeah. So while I'm here, might as well do a little bit of shame resilience. I've been talking a lot about my ego. Yo, Dom. When you explode and you disrespect, listen, I got you, man. It's not your fault. You got this. Take the time to do the practice of loving your wife, practice of being there for your wife, listening to your wife more than what you're doing, because as you're giving space and honoring, I want you to bring your ego in if you can, like to bring this guy that you so dislike in. Feel the feelings that are going to come up and get used to those feelings. It's easier said than done, because when I'm in this God state here and now and my mind is silent, I'm not exploding. But as soon as you're doing something, so bring her in when you're doing something, or when your kids are screaming, take the time. Take the time. I got this. Dom, you got this. Say it 3 times if you have to. I will take the time before opening up my mouth when doing any type of human behavior. I like that. Good. Good. And these podcasts that I've been recording lately with my friends are just amazing. I feel so blessed to have friends, first of all, that are such loving beings. I am amazed sometimes on the love that is directed towards me, because I feel shame that I don't deserve it, that I should not accept it almost, because they should know better. But tell you the truth, no. Dom, you deserve love. And I'm sorry that I've not been giving it to you as much lately, but as you notice, the practice that your wife and your daughter is doing in the mirror of identifying 3 body parts and saying what they love about that body part and really looking at it, and even if you don't believe it, to take the time to believe it, to you know, whatever it is, your shoulder, your nails, to your nose, to your hair, who cares? You're doing it, and you were doing it this morning, and it was awkward as hell, and it felt weird, but you know that walking towards discomfort is the way to go. And then after you're done that, to look in your eyes and to say, I love myself 5 times was hard. Dude, it was so freaking hard. And again, walking towards discomfort is amazing and necessary. And that's from my brother Brandon. Man, thank you so much for being such a god in that realm of going towards discomfort. Because of you, I can swim or do ice dips, but I wanted to go swim. Yeah, mother, if I can tomorrow or the next day, I want to go swim in the cold river. Spring is coming at such a fast pace, and I don't want to miss my opportunity to continue healing my body with the cold. But don't worry about it. You know, meant to be, right? I'm just sending it out there because I love you so much. Oh, and the other thing too, talk to mother. Continue talking to mother and eat plants. I've been noticing lately that we've been eating a little bit more junky kind of food. You bought some shreddies. They're so good. They're not cornflakes, they're not Fruit Loops, but still the second ingredient or the third is sugar. So processed food, stay away. So thank you for eating salad tonight. Salad has been a big part of my diet lately, and like a big freaking bowl of salad with balsamic vinegar. Man, I'm in love with that combination. And I noticed that when I eat plants, you are a lot more present in my awareness. The food matters, man. And the letter that you sent us through Morgan that tells us to eat plants so that the connection between you and me can grow and become more stronger and talk to me. Yeah, it's weird how I forget. Silent mind is just making me be and do And it takes actually effort to bring in a voice inside my head to talk to you. But I will, and I'm sorry I haven't done it lately, but I love you so freaking much. And you have made my life so much better with the teaching of your daughter, Ayahuasca. She has, I was talking to my friend about Ayahuasca today, about your daughter. And oh my God, that second ceremony is still not haunting me, but it was such a powerful experience of pain, suffering, shame. Why me? Like behaving like a 2-year-old. Why me? Everybody else is having such a good trip. But the suffering was there. Like it was such a high suffering. My body felt like I was on cannabis edible, but like a way 300 milligram, maybe more. I wanted to get out of my skin. Panic was on the verge. And then when ceremony ended and you were not letting me go, and then I went to see Brandon and just started crying and being angry in front of him, and noticing that anger, when you would go into it, it would feel a lot better, and you felt a sense of release until you closed your eyes and poof, the feeling would come back. The same freaking feeling would come back, and you did that over and over in front of your brother and your sister Lauren. But still, I forget the lesson. That's the lesson, to be one with your ego. If your ego needs to cry, you cry. But remember to honor. Don't get lost in the sadness. Let the ego cry, but feel honor, though, behind it, so that you don't get confused and you don't get trapped in your body. You know who you are. That great though that exists, that put his hands on your shoulder to support you, to move you forward, and to give you like the best of advice on how to behave with others. Use that. Use the memory of Peru. Use your memory of ayahuasca. There's a reason why you call this podcast Ayahuasca Journey, because it's the basis for all of my knowledge, my wisdom, my love. I tell you, man, ayahuasca, mother, you are ineffable. There's no words to describe, because it's insane. The journey that I'm going through right now, absolutely insanity. I love it. I freaking love it. Oh man, I'm getting tired. Monkey and Frank for life. I love you guys so freaking much, and I'll talk to you later. See ya.